Hey everyone, so currently at Pine Hill Cemetery here in Westfield, Massachusetts. I'm currently attending Jonathan Pell's 48 state tour. So he is here today, currently demonstrating how to clean a headstone. So while he's doing that, I'm kind of doing my own thing, cleaning a headstone on my own. So for today, this is going to be for Elmira Smith. And it says she passed away at 8 months old on August 18th, 1844, I believe, or 1841. So I'll kind of just give a quick little rundown of how I go about cleaning headstone. The things you want to check for first is the stability of the stone, making sure it's not going to fall over or anything like that. The ultimate goal here is to do no harm and preserve history here. So you don't want to have a stone knock over and then break and whatnot. So checking for stability, making sure the stone is going to be able to be brushed. There are stones where they might be in such a poor condition that you're not able to brush them. At that point, you could just put D2 on it and just let it be. The process is going to take longer, but it's going to be less detrimental to the stone. So patience is key here. So with this stone, I gave it a quick little wash, rinse it down with some water, and then I used this wooden stick right here. You can get these at Home Depot. They're safe for a stone, especially for something like marble. You can brush on a stone, kind of get the lichen off, actively soak the stone in the process. And what happens is the wood will kind of wither away as you're brushing on the stone. This is not going to be detrimental to the stone. It's not withering away the stone and giving the opposite effect. If you use something like metal, that's a different story, and we try to avoid using anything that's metal related as far as brushes and whatnot. So these are good to use. I also have a little brush right here. It's basically like a toothbrush, it looks like. This is good to use to get like inside the inscription and whatnot. You go in a circular motion. The general rule of thumb is going from bottom to top. So I did that, and then you also got a brush here, a Tampico brush. I got this from Jonathan Appel. His shop, Atlas Preservation, has all the tools you need for headstone cleaning and restoration work. So what I would do here is, kind of give a quick little brush on the stone, circular motion, work my way up. Again, actively rinsing the stone, keeping it hydrated, because if you got a dry stone and you brush on it, that's more abrasive. That could actually be a little more detrimental to the stone. So you need to keep it hydrated the whole time. So did all that, and at this point, I kind of let the stone dry out as much as I could. After you let it dry out, you can apply D2, the biological solution here. It's generally the only recommended product to use on a stone. It's safe. So I gave an application to it, and you might not be able to see it now, but the stone has kind of flared up, has like an orangey hue to it. That's just a D2 reacting to the stone. Don't panic if you see something like that. That is supposed to happen. It will go away over time. So I'll let that sit, kind of dry, and then eventually I'll brush it again. Hopefully get a little more of the junk off, and then it's just a waiting game at that point. The big thing for this kind of work, in my opinion, is patience, and I think that's something that gets overlooked. People will generally tend to see a before and after photo of a headstone, and then they'll go and clean a headstone themselves, not really knowing that the before and after photos could have taken, or the difference between them was, a few weeks or a few months. They think they're going to get instant results. So when they're cleaning a stone, they're not seeing the instant results, and they're not seeing that the stone's all nice and perfect and shiny again right away. So they might be more aggressive with the brushing. They might put more force into the brush and get more aggressive. You don't want to do that. When I'm brushing a stone, again, when you're going in circular motion, I don't really put any force into it. You don't have to. You can generally just do a light brush with the water, and a good chunk of the lichen and all the dirt and whatnot will just come off. You'll see some results right away, but you need patience. That's the key thing here. You start getting too aggressive with the stone, you're going to start causing damage. If you start overbrushing it, meaning you come back a week later, you don't like how it's looking, you brush it again, you come back 2 weeks later, you keep brushing and brushing and brushing and brushing. That's going to be withering away the stone and again causing more damage, and you don't want to do that. So I can't stress it enough. One of the most important things in cleaning a headstone that does not get emphasized enough is patience. Be patient. It's not going to be perfect right away, but in due time, it'll clean up. It'll look nice and healthy again. So I figure I'd just give a quick little rundown there. So the stone's drying out pretty good. The stone is also not too hot, so you are allowed to clean it. So I'm gonna rinse it real quick. So again, on the whole stone, soaking it. You're gonna wet the brush down. And I'll just kind of use this one to go over the whole stone real quick, but you know, this is good for getting into the inscription like I mentioned earlier. Just give it a quick little rinse. Again, I wasn't being too aggressive with the brush. I'm not pushing in. I'm just letting it do all the work. I can take the bigger brush, make sure it's all soaked. Again, you're not pressing into the stone. So you see a little bit more of a difference already. Again, you're not going to see drastic results right away, but it's not really underneath a tree. It gets enough sun, so it's going to kind of work in my favor where it'll clean up a lot quicker. So I got a before photo. I'll come back here maybe a few weeks, see how it's doing, and perhaps in a few months the after photo will be good to go. And I will do a little write-up about Elmira and her family and go from there. So thank you for watching.